Hello everyone, today we're going to be planting potatoes, and these potatoes in front of me, these are the leftovers from last year harvest. I already planted half of this last April and they're already growing right now. But this one here, this guys here has been sitting in the basement, and look how tall are their sprout right now. So it needs to be planted in the dirt. I want to show you this big potato here that looks like it's giving birth. It's been sitting too long. That's why it's like it's ready to burst. So yeah, it's really big and it's a red potato. I don't know exactly what's the name of it. I think I have 3 or 4 variety here. First is I've got red potato, blue potatoes. That one is red. This is blue. Oh, not this one. Yeah, and the sprout is like it's about to die, but I think there's still a sign of life, so I'm still gonna plant that. And then here I've got white one. White type. Look how tall is the sprout. Yeah, and this one is really big too. And here's another example of potato that is making babies, and you can see those tiny babies that is about to grow. It's really cool. So some people will cut it if it's too big. They're gonna cut it half and make sure that there's an eyes. That's the eyes. That's what they call eyes. And then they will wait for like a few days until it will heal, because if they plant it directly to the soil and the cut is still fresh, so it will create it will rot. Yeah, so they have to let it heal first before planting them. So that's what I learned from other gardeners online that I saw. This is how I planted half of the potatoes last April. I dig a trench and it's about 2 rows, and then I added good soil. It needs to be fluffy because potato tubers develop well when the soil is good. That's what I learned. Okay, so but I'm not an expert. This is my first time to do this. So the hole is about, the depth is about 4 to 6 inches should be in potatoes. I think mine is just 4, and then I added the potatoes that's already sprouting in it, and I think it is 6 inches apart in mine, but it needs to be farther a little bit so they have room for the baby potatoes to grow. So this is how they look like after. Next step is I covered it with soil. It's still a good soil. Actually, this is already repurposed soil that I used from last year, but I noticed that it's still good. So that's what I used to cover them. And then after that, I used the soil which is in the garden. After that, water it well and let the sun and the nature work for it. And now I'm gonna show you what they look like after 1 month. So you can see it's already have lots of leaves and they're looking bushier right now. And look what I found right here. It's already have flower. Yeah, and so I hope that it's doing well underneath. And look what I found. There's a weeds in here that needs to be pulled out. Yeah, so I hope it's doing well this year and I will get a good harvest. Now I'm gonna plant the rest of the potatoes at the back of the house. This is where we had our potatoes last year, and this soil is mixed with lots of straw, so I hope the voles will not eat them all because they have very easy access to it because the soil is very fluffy and most of it are straw. Now that I'm done with it, I'll move ahead to container planting. This is also my first time to do this. So I have here big pots which we had from the trees that we bought from last year. I think this is extra large. It's pretty big. And then this one here, this is the only one that is a little smaller. I think this is large. Yeah, and of course I've got the special potatoes that I separate that looks like it's about to give birth. I find it funny. And then so the pots already half filled with soil. They're sitting there for about 6 inches deeper, and then we're just gonna add it with another good dirt on top. I only put one potato in each pot so they have plenty of room for their tuber to develop and multiply underneath. And also it can get very hot. That's why I'll make sure that I will just put them to where it can get at least 6 hours of sun because it gets very dry and hot here where I live, and then the pots also will dry out easily. This option for me is good if you only have limited space. You can use big pots for your plants, your potatoes, but if you don't have big pots like this that I'm using, you can also use empty feed bags and also eco bags or whatever you have that is available. Just make sure that you will put a hole at the bottom so it can have a good drainage. Another thing that I like in this idea is when during the harvest time, you would just dump the whole pot and then you see all your potatoes are in there as long as they're not rotting or dead. They're safe from other rodents and voles, so it would be fun. Come here, Jake. There. Come here. Water well and let the nature work for it. See you in harvest season, which is in September. And I hope that this will be successful. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in my next video. Have a good day and happy gardening.